Hey folks, I thought I'd show you a little bit of what we do to maintain airplanes. This airplane here is a customer's airplane. He entrusts us to help manage the airplane, make sure that it's ship shape, so to speak, and ready to fly. We have it in for its once a year inspection. If it's a certified airplane, we call them an annual inspection. If it's experimental in nature, or experimental certification, then it's called a conditional inspection. This airplane was originally designed, or this type of airplane was originally designed by the North American Aviation Company, and was used by every major military of the world in all of its different variants. This particular airplane was built by the Canadian Car Foundry in Canada and was designated as a Harvard 4. The U.S. Ones would have been AT-6 or T-6 Texan or SNJ if it was a Navy model. This airplane again is in for its yearly inspection, and we've got all the panels off of it and exposing everything. You can see, you can get to every major system on the airplane and the subsystems. We do this routinely on aircraft. This is how we're able to maintain reliable fleets of aircraft and have 70-year-old airplanes flying on a daily basis. And so part of this process is we're going to inspect every bit of the airplane and find any discrepancies that are starting to come up, any worn parts, anything that's loose, anything like that, and just repair and replace as necessary. And so this time around, we're really focusing a lot on hydraulic systems. There's a few little leaks that are popping up, and right now they're annoyances, but we don't want to make them anything more than an annoyance. And so it's time to, when the airplane starts talking to you, you start listening and you start fixing it. So you can see again on the side fuselage where that panel comes off, you can see all the hydraulic lines that are going through the aircraft and all that kind of stuff, and cables and electrical and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, here's the backside of our engine, the accessory section. We have a alternator way up in the top, that little blue thing you can see up at the top left of the screen. The starter's that big hunkin' black thing right here. We have two magnetos down here. Lower is the carburetor. A little bit, let me get in here a little bit better if I can. So carburetor is a pretty decent size system. Here's our oil cooler. This is our emergency fuel pump, or it's called a wobble pump, because you actually wobble a lever right up here back and forth in the cockpit and get it to actuate. Up top here's our oil tank. We carry 8 gallons of oil, or excuse me, we carry 10 gallons of oil on this aircraft. There's a little bit more room in the tank for foaming of the oil and such like that. And air filter goes from there all the way down to about right there where my finger is. Coming around to the power section, here's our 9-cylinder 1340 cubic inch Pratt & Whitney, 600 horsepower at takeoff. You might say, well, that's not a lot of power, but we only turn this engine a maximum of 2,250 RPM, and so try getting that kind of low-end horsepower out of anything else. And the other thing about airplanes is we expect to have that rated horsepower to run as much as it's, many airplanes we have a maximum power setting of, let's say it's 400 horsepower, and you can run that 400 horsepower all day long. In this case, we have 600 horsepower for takeoff, and that's good for a minute for every takeoff, and then we can run 550 horsepower all day long. And anyway, so enough of that. Coming down the landing gear, we got one of the retruck struts out. You can see all the hydraulic fluid that we have pulled out of the system. So anyway, So we'll be inspecting more and more of the airplane. Actually, most of it's inspected. Now we're just down to the repair and replace stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. We're just a chance to get you look into something a little bit different. We've been concentrating more on cars, and we'll have more automotive stuff on tap, but you can see when I start doing little things on the cars, some of the airplane stuff bleeds over into that. And in fact, the mechanic kind of looked at me a little funny when I told him I wanted to start sending my old pickup truck to him a couple times a year to start looking it over and do this kind of inspection. I figure if it's good enough for the airplanes, I might as well treat my automobiles that I depend on that same way. Anyway, again, hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click that thumbs up button and let us know that you enjoyed it. Also, follow American Hanger on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel.